Bam! Welcome to the Gun Channel. My name is Mike, and here's another Pewjitsu Podcast. This is four of us knuckleheads sitting around the table just having a good time. On the Gun Channel, I only post the video Pewjitsu Podcast. The audio-only podcasts are all available anywhere you get your podcast. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you back real soon.
Want me to put the music on that we were just listening to?
No.
You panther. Yes, please.
Scarred for life.
You are not scarred for life.
A little bit.
We only listened to 30 seconds of one song.
She'll never be able to look at Asian hookers the same again.
Oh my gosh.
Do you look at Asian hookers at the moment at all?
No.
Oh, you haven't lived. Man, this is the first time we've had four hot mics. In that we always have one hot mic.
I like where your head's at.
Oh, but now we have four hot mics. So this is the first time. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Welcome back, Jessica and Mike.
Thanks.
You've been out and about, hitting tons of miles in your cool van.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We haven't been on the podcast since
you
we
haven't.
got back.
You haven't. Went out to Joshua Tree National Park, right? That's a national park?
Yep. So 5,500 miles there and back.
Yikes.
Dang.
It was great.
Should I ask what's one way? Did you add miles going out or back?
Over 5,000 miles, I think.
It was 5,500 total, but I mean, like, we went up a little bit.
Did you take a
north.
circuitous route back, or did you take pretty much the same route back?
We took a different route back because on the way there, I almost had a heart attack on one of the roads. It was very, very high and very, very steep, and I will never do that again.
Did you stop
I was
anywhere
literally
on the way there?
hyperventilating.
Where were you doing this?
He was
Sleeping.
Calm. No, he was calm in the passenger seat, trying to help me not freak out. Because like we couldn't pull over, so like I just
no
had
shoulder.
To, like,
you're right on the cliff's edge.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
gonna die. We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Yeah, it was some mountainous kind of stuff, and we were just going through the hills, and before we know it, it was like, oh, we just kind of came over a hill, and it was more of a mountain. We're just going
And it's
down.
like-
Right, not a hill.
Drop off.
Where was
on
this
each
at?
Side.
Yeah.
And it's windy.
East Texas, probably something
West
like that.
Texas.
West Texas.
Yeah.
East Texas and West Texas are
Very different.
far apart.
But yeah, and also being in that crazy van that we're in, we weren't quite sure how it was going to handle a hill and dealing with brakes
And that
and
much
how the
wind.
transmission
Sure.
was going to function going down a large mountain.
Yeah, in the wind, because you're a large panel of solid material. You get pushed around quite a lot. You have a lot of surface area on the side of that van.
And I've never driven down a mountain in a vehicle like that, so that was like, whoa.
Well, now you have.
Drop it into what I don't even know. I probably sound like a total moron, but what do we have to like drop it into what?
The transmission automatically dropped down gears whenever
Sure.
you left the pedal, and it felt it was going high. So the transmission did it. If
Engine
not,
braking.
obviously.
It engine brakes.
Engine brake, yeah.
Engine braking.
Did it all by itself. Thank God, because I had no idea.
Now you got to do it in a stick shift.
No, thank you.
That's a whole nother world. Well, welcome back. Like I said to you guys, are those cameras on? So we're actually going to do a video this time. That's cool. Sweet. And Nick is back. Nick and I did a nice, just kind of like a fun little podcast with our friend and captain from the FWC, Lonnie, who was here today. He was looking for some. He's planning some training for a special operations.
No,
operations
he was just
group.
here for meme material.
Yeah, he was.
Master Photoshopper.
So we just we sat down real quick and we just kind of went after a few things, and it actually turned into a really nice conversation. So it was really cool, really
Yeah,
fun.
we took some extra time.
Yeah, we did. And so similarly, that's kind of like what we're doing, like reconnecting with you guys, doing a little riffing, getting some stuff on camera, and then we're gonna do drill of the week, right?
Drill of the week.
At some point. And then we have another podcast we're gonna record at 4. Yep. With a really cool guy that I met out in Utah, Matt, who's he's got a great story, and he's just the guy to tell it, because that guy is a ton of fun. So he's gonna bring some fun to all of us, I'm sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a question for the round table of geniuses. Think tank. We can call this a think tank.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah.
You guys been watching any of the stuff with the UFO stuff?
I don't like dive deep into UFO stuff. Am I willing to open my heart and mind to it? Yeah, for fun, I probably would.
But have you seen the recent stuff that's coming out that's been verified by
the Air Force
by the Air
pilots?
Force,
Yeah,
pilots
I've heard.
footage been released, all that stuff.
What's going on?
Nobody?
No, I haven't heard about it.
I don't know enough about it.
I would have been glad not to know.
An Air Force pilot reported back,
Commander
Frazier, something like that, reported back seeing while airborne, and I don't know what kind of aircraft he was in, but we'll assume it's a performance jet.
Mm-hmm.
A Tic Tac shaped aircraft that covered 30 some odd miles in a second and went from his vantage point or his current location in the sky to like a rally point or a place that he was supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
It went there and it was about 30 miles away or 30, whatever it was, and it got there in a second. So it must have had some sort of tracking systems, or it intercepted air traffic control to know where to go.
And also, there was no fumes. You know, it was defying laws of physics. So there's no breaking of the speed barrier. It's going in and out of water.
Yeah, it went in water.
What?
It ascended to like an insane height almost
video
instantaneously.
too, right?
There's video of it, and there's also the different types of cameras and things like that monitor its speed, and it has like infrared and all these different kind of cameras and all the the best instruments we have for tracking this stuff. And then there's also on all the legacy news and stuff, they've been releasing a lot of other footage, and a lot of other people are coming out that are retired from, and they're like, hey, I've seen this every day for 2 years over water and stuff. We don't know what it is. It's it's probably not, most likely not us. It could be another country or
commercial airline pilots. Think about who spends the most time in the air on any given day. A commercial airline pilot who's doing like a Miami to Atlanta route or a Miami to Charlotte route 3 or 4 times in a day. They're in the air, most of that time. I'm sure that there's some out there that might have some stories to tell.
We've heard reports of that, but like I think that can be dismissible. But like I don't know, one person saw it, they saw something. But like when you have trained military personnel that are trained to see this stuff and identify these things and track these things visually, and then we have the state-of-the-art equipment tracking it. And we're like, it's undeniable now. And so, what is it? Is it otherworldly?
Right, that's the question.
Is it?
Elon.
It's Elon Musk. Yeah,
on his way to work.
He's an alien. Yeah.
He is, that guy, man. I love listening to him talk. He's so smart. He's got such a matter-of-fact way about him. But you can tell he's just an uber genius that's trying to talk to people.
Basically saving
like
the human race and the planet. But he smokes a little weed on Joe Rogan, and they're going to cancel his ass.
It cost him like $3 billion.
Did it?
Cost them a lot of money.
What does $3 billion come from?
Stock. Their stock fell very, very dramatically when that episode aired, and on paper it was a $3 billion loss, but the next day it probably went right back to normal.
That's the time to buy.
It's time to buy Doge.
Yeah, Jessica, do you believe in extraterrestrials?
I mean, I've never met one.
Are you
that
sure?
I know of.
She's never met Elon Musk.
Nick, go ahead and peel your face off.
I'm really open. I think there's a lot of things that
I think there's a possibility. I mean, if we can live on this planet.
Sure, there has to be a possibility, right?
Yeah.
It's
I'm not going to discount it.
Are they really? Are they that shy?
To think that we're the only ones.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of factors that have to be just perfect for us to have popped up on this planet and evolved in the way that we did. But
I just hope they're friendly.
What are they doing if they're out there? Are they just observing? Are they taking notes?
Well, they didn't shoot at us, so that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're doing recon.
I think so.
They're learning.
That's what I think so.
I think it's cool, at least we're talking about it. It's like we actually have real evidence. This is actual evidence of something.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily from another planet or to that effect, but it's definitely something, and we need to figure out what it is, or at least, maybe it'll be exciting to figure out what it is, and hopefully they're benevolent. I mean, I would assume that they would be, because the capabilities that they've already demonstrated as far as jamming radar. I mean, the list goes on when you go down of what we actually know. It's not just like guessing and wondering.
Yeah, just in this one commander's video, they've already bested our finest.
Where was this scene again?
I think outside of
recall.
Jacksonville. It's been all over the place, but I think off of California and off the East Coast, so both coasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were able to get over the ice wall?
I think I meant to hit a different button.
Yeah, blue one.
Was it the blue one?
Yeah.
For the conspiracy theorists.
That's your
Look,
button, Mike.
They could get over the ice wall very easily if the ice wall were real.
If you have a dragon. A real life dragon. Jack Carr, we're both reading Jack Carr
Christ,
books.
Jack Carr. If I ever get an opportunity to meet that guy, man.
I know. His books
Dude,
are
these
insane.
books are fucking incredible. I listened to the first two. I saw the media kind of frenzy with a lot of people I follow getting the Jack Carr novels, Jack Carr's this, and I'm like, I have to take a break from. I don't normally listen to fiction when I'm driving. I'm always listening to some sort of book on leadership or business or some Jocko or a podcast of some sort.
Jocko.
And so I have Audible, and I had yet to listen to any fiction. So I was like, well, this Jack Carr place looks like a great place to jump in. So I got his first book, Terminal List, and damn, is it good. One, the writing is really good. He's obviously he's got insider information.
Does he read it himself?
No, and that's part of what
I like it when they.
Yeah,
I do too. And
okay,
and in many cases, I think that the authors should be reading it themselves. It's their word. It's their work. They should be reading it and delivering
The way they wrote it?
the way they wrote it, because there's going to be a little a different warmth and feel and delivery to it. But the guy that he got to read Ray Porter, I think is his name, Ray Porter. Guy is stellar because he does accents and voices, and his timing is perfect. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, so I smashed the first one, Terminal List, and it was just incredible.
Read that or listened to it too?
Yeah, I've listened to all four of the books because I just couldn't stop.
Yeah,
you know?
they're
I
hard to
just
stop.
listen to them nonstop, and each one gets better. The first one is, I would say, they're all. When I listened to the first one, I thought it was great, but after listening to the other three, I'm like, oh, the first one was good. But
this one's
the next
better.
one, second one was better, and the third one was better, and
Yeah.
the fourth
So
one
you've
was
done
better.
2 of them?
Yeah, I've listened to 2. I bought Devil's Hand. I'm gonna read that one. I feel like having a book in hand. I like turning the page, and but he's so good because he's got all this knowledge from his time in the teams, and he's a good writer too. But it's his tradecraft, his knowledge of weapons and weapon systems and how they work and how they go together. That's what makes it
Because he's
really
retired
detailed. Yeah,
military, right?
Yeah, he's Navy
SEAL.
So they're good. They're really good. I'm looking forward to getting home and getting a chapter in tonight.
Yeah. You haven't read the third book?
No, I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday to buy the third book, but they didn't have it. That's Savage Son. They didn't have Savage Son. They had Devil's Hand, so I bought it. So I'm going to be out of order on books 3 and 4. But that's okay.
It's a bold
Right.
move, Cotton.
Bold.
Yeah. Great reference.
Yeah. I guess we won't talk about it too much because it'll be spoiler alerts or spoilers.
Yeah, I don't-
And
Boy, there's some gruesome stuff that goes down in a couple of them. They're really good.
I like how he's very detailed without slowing down the storyline.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like he's very detailed and he describes what he's using and what he's doing, or what the character's doing. But he doesn't stop and then start describing what a person looks like and stuff. But it's in the flow state, and he just sneaks it in there somehow.
Yeah, when it comes to there's a lot of weapons talk in it, right? Because of the nature of the book and the subject matter. But he does it really well as the character James Reese is picking up a rifle. You can actually imagine it and see like a camera view going over James picking up the rifle, locking back a bolt, but while the bolt is locking back, you see the optic that he's mentioning in it. You see the name of it's a knight's armament. It's done really well, really cleanly, so that it's not distracting. I think it's excellent.
And the detail of it goes down, especially him being active or former military. Like even there was a scene in there. I don't think this would be a spoiler. Was like hey, we're going to give this person a firearm because they were being attacked, and here's a magazine, load it, charge it, and you have 29 rounds. And then I was like, oh yeah, because most people don't load their mags or ARs to 30 rounds, so that it for insert, just all the little details.
Yeah. Those are little things that like people like us and so many listeners and readers are going to pick up on, that they'll appreciate, that lend to the realism.
Well, we're forced to watch so many movies and just have to roll our eyes whenever we see
They
it.
never run out of ammo.
Run out of ammo, how they're holding their firearm.
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert shooter. As soon as here's a gun, just point at the bad guy and shoot. And
Diving, rolling, and shooting. And center mass,
lethal weapon, baby.
The enemy is sprinting through a crowd, and they still manage to take him down.
Yep.
Without getting
And not
anyone
hit
else.
anyone else, yeah.
But excellent books. I'm glad that I took a break from all the leadership and stuff to get into them, because they're outstanding. Yeah.
Good summer reading.
Yeah, for sure.
The show's coming out soon too.
I know.
With Chris Pratt.
He'll be an excellent James Reese. It's coming in on Netflix, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's Prime.
Either Netflix or Prime. Yeah.
I think it's Prime.
Yeah.
Prime.
It might be Prime.
Is it an adaptation of one of the books, or is
The first book.
Okay, so of Terminal List.
Terminal List. So the first
Sweet.
book they're going to do, this is what I heard, and I don't know how many episodes they're going to be, but it's going to be just enough episodes to cover the first book, and then obviously leaves it open for the additional books.
So if it follows the book pretty closely,
Chris Pratt's going to get dark.
I wonder, because I kind of alluded to Nick this morning about the scene down in the Keys with the karambit, when he opens that guy up with the karambit, what he does to him.
I did a lot of training with a karambit.
Oh man!
And it's not a weapon to be toyed with.
No, nasty. I have one in the door of my truck in case anybody's
Wants to get disemboweled.
reach in and lose an arm.
The karambit is it's like a giant eagle's claw that you typically would hold it in reverse grip, and it would come out the bottom and hook around.
yeah.
And so I showed you, I think, right? You can manipulate, move
Seen
people's arms out of the way.
raptor claw from Jurassic Park.
Oh, just
It
turn
looks
it
like-
upside down.
Boom.
Yeah, and I have an Emerson, and
Those are really
the
nice
blade
things.
on it is ridiculous.
Remind me to give you. I had a small business during the recession I made, and that Emerson is like a $250 flip out one. Is that
Yep.
the one you have? And I actually made a little business called Cloning Blades, and I had aluminum trainers. And I made them specifically for the Emerson. I have like a
fantastic.
box.
That's awesome.
So I have some, but I'll see if I have an extra one I can bring you in as a trainer, so you can pull it out and work it without
that would
cutting
be
up your
great
friends.
for a class that Nick and I are going to be doing here in June called Inside the Ground Fight. We're kind of going to take and distill down some of the ground fighting and combatives techniques that I used to teach when I was in law enforcement. We're going to bring them to the civilian market. And to have some training blades on hand for that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll dig around. I have a box full of unfinished ones. So what I'll do is I'll bring some out to you guys, and you might need to work them a little bit, or maybe put some paracord around them for grips and stuff.
Yeah,
But,
sweet.
be cool.
Sweet.
Well, yeah, we can figure it out.
Mike's done it all.
I know.
I've done
Every time you
1%.
talk to him, you're like, really? You did that too? What?
Musician.
I don't know.
He was the one piloting that Tic Tac UFO.
Yes, it was. That's who it was. Yeah. He may have.
He's the one that brought it up first.
This
too,
may
so,
be
yeah, it's
have
him.
been the duo that brought up the Tactical Bachelor also,
Oh yeah.
by the way.
I think your daughter was the one that
Yeah,
really
that
drove
was
that.
Yeah,
Your
she wanted to be at the rose ceremony.
I was with you.
Jessica was trying to protect me.
And Justin
Yeah.
too. Justin just wanted it to happen because he wanted season 2.
This is true.
For people that are,
He wanted it to
it's an inside thing. So Tactical Bachelor, we're hanging out at Anthony's house with my friends and family, having some good eats and drinks, and we decided, and
Poor Nick.
something happened where Nick. We decided he was going to become the Tactical Bachelor, and we're going to launch a TV series. And Evoke Studio was going to create a 10-episode show. And we had it all figured out. So 30 minutes later, there was a website, there was an Instagram account,
if we had a
there was a
website.
name, there was hashtags.
The email survey.
We had
Email survey,
The
that's what
email survey was up. We had probably
questions.
150 followers on social media, all within like an hour.
So the moral of the story is, like, you get a group of like-minded people together like that, and like we can make shit happen.
Yeah, things happen quick.
Yeah. And so Nick was. I don't know if you're still seeing the same same lady or not?
No.
So at the time you were seeing a
not the
girl
same
and
one,
it
no.
was like made it awkward. His girlfriend's like, "Hey, so tell me, how are you a bachelor?"
Yeah.
Right now? He's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, to even give more backstory to the backstory, we closed out the night, and the Tactical Bachelor lived to the next morning, and then I think it was me. I reached out to Nick. I'm like, "Hey man, are you okay with this?" He's like, "No, not really." I'm like, "Okay, we'll take it down."
I didn't want to ruin the night by saying no. I let everybody have their fun.
Yeah.
And then I ruined everybody's day the next day.
we were all feeling weird about it. Like, oh, poor Nick.
I was having fun listening to you guys. Your daughters are making all the different pictures with the roses.
Yeah, they were really good
gosh.
too. Hopefully they archived
And
There was
the silhouette with the question
artwork,
mark.
the silhouette. This could be you.
Movie posters were made. It was
Yeah.
pretty insane. Yeah, this is one of those things. Like, reminds me of one of the things you do, like when you tweet something before you get on an airplane, and then you land, and then you're canceled and you're fired or something.
Yeah.
You hear those stories.
I still want to shop it around. I think it could get picked up by
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't say anything.
something. Telemundo, maybe.
So
I'm
you
telling
guys
you,
have? Is it
ESPN
this
8, the
weekend?
Ocho.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No.
No, you're good.
Is it this weekend? You guys are doing the event for the manhunt? When is that?
No, it was scheduled for this weekend.
Okay.
But I think just due to lack of people's fitness. No, I don't want to say what. I think that maybe people just looked at it and was like, this looks like a lot of running. I'm gonna not. So we just didn't have the interest in it. So we're gonna we pulled it, and we're gonna kind of wrap that into something else down the road. Maybe a paintball thing or an airsoft
that'd be
thing.
fun.
Or
I also think
something.
it's one of those events that people don't want to book a month out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're gonna wait till the last minute and then get tickets, but we didn't.
Yeah, it was a.
Really have.
We were just taking a shot
Yeah.
in the dark, and we're just trying some things. So
Yeah.
no biggie.
Just throwing
Our
ideas
next. We've had a few events recently. We just had the Seal Future Foundation here last weekend, or last week, Friday,
Yeah.
which turned out to be a phenomenal event for them. Put on by a really great team. They brought in some SEALs that are from the area, and I think they brought in a few others from outside of the area. Some that we've met before, some we are not familiar with. Brought in some great civilians that were front and center for some awesome shooting and some great experiences. They had a silent auction, and I think they raised about $100,000 for
that's awesome.
SEALs that are transitioning, out of active duty,
Yeah.
or they're coming out of active duty in a bad way. So whatever the case may be for that individual, they raised a bunch of money for them. So it was really great, and we're looking forward to hopefully being involved with them again here soon.
So explain why there would be a difficult transition out of that.
PTSD would be my primary guess. Guys are coming out of combat or coming out of situations where, mentally they're dealing with some struggles, and that can be a rough transition. Back
And the
into-
resources that are available aren't always the best, or is it just like some need more extensive?
I think a little bit of both.
I mean,
a little bit of both.
when I was transitioning out of the Marines, they actually gave us a class where it was designed to teach you how to do your taxes and how to put together a resume, interviewing techniques and stuff like that. So it was all to basically set you up for success when you get out. Because I was only in for 4 years, but the SEALs, they're in for
A long
10 plus, 20 maybe, and they're trained to find the enemy, kill them, and then leave. That's all they know. That's all they train for that long. When they leave
And
and they
they've
come
seen
back
all of that
to
and experienced
civilian
all that.
life, that's still what's ingrained in their brains, and they may have a hard time transitioning back into anything.
I didn't realize that's how long that process would be for them. So I suppose
Yeah,
it
the
takes,
pipeline itself is multiple years to become operational, and so they go in young, they get out in their mid 30s or whenever
Yeah.
their bodies and minds decide it's time for them to get out. Maybe the
And to be
job
great at
skills.
anything, whether it's being a Navy SEAL, which is probably going to be, not probably anything, it's going to be high up on the list of, certainly in the top 10 of things to do with a human, but Olympians or anything like that want to be great, you got to be a little crazy,
Yeah.
and you've got to commit and
hyper-focused.
hyper-focus and just cut everything else that's not essential
Yeah.
and let somebody else handle it.
Another issue that they run into is like I said, you're in for so long and you're with the same team for so long. So they become your family, and then you're just gone away from them.
Well, if you look at
and it's hard to meet people with shared life experience in the civilian sector after something like that. So you feel alone, and that's why something like the SEAL Future Foundation is there, so that those people that are struggling can meet with like-minded SEALs and
who might be on a different
people
point
that can
in the
help
journey.
them.
That's cool.
Through that transition.
So that was the
so
idea.
neat.
That was the fundraiser that they held here, and by all accounts, it was really awesome.
Yeah,
so
the guys are awesome. All the
great
all the
dudes.
SEALs, they're super polite.
Nick
super
and I had
nice.
an opportunity to work with one of them, Sean, on another project, and he's just was great.
SEALs for a day.
Yeah, we were. And so our next event coming up is actually,
Skirmish coming up?
we do have Skirmish coming up next weekend, but Nick and I and Ryan here from Tradecraft are going to be working with a YPO event, a young presidents organization. They're coming out with like 6 or 7 like titans of industry, so to speak, guys from Naples. We're going to give them a day of pistol craft and some CQB, and they're going to shoot some long guns, and then probably
Is it
some
like
sims.
people without any prior experience? or
Some of these guys have experience. The guy who's heading it up is a member here, actually, so he's got a lot of experience. He's a good shooter. He's been around firearms for a long time. So it'll be just like an experiential day for them. So we'll probably suit up in Sims gear and do some force-on-force with them. So that'll be, I think that's Tuesday out here. And then we got Skirmish on Saturday, and that's looking to be a ton of fun. I got a whole bunch of cool battles I've been putting together, some stuff we've never done before. We're going to shoot in some ways that have never been done before, not only at a Skirmish, but at a full 2-day games event, have not been done before. So it's going to be a ton of fun.
So like shooting nude?
Nude shooting.
Yep.
Nude shooting?
Yep.
Hanging upside down.
Nude.
Yeah.
Nude.
It's a new
that's
thing.
not
By
good.
piano wire.
Yeah. Like in the second book of yeah.
Spoiler.
I don't want to spoil. Man, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of like our next couple weeks here at Tradecraft. We have some cool things.
So you guys, and obviously Nick, you've been working here for a little while here at the Tradecraft gun range. Outdoor shooting bays, private thing. It's I don't know, probably people are aware of it. You can go to tradecraftrange.com and get a better idea. Question: what is the most common challenge you have with people coming out here shooting? And yeah, we'll start with that.
Most common challenge as far as
If there's safety issues,
I know
or-
one.
Pick up your
People
brass.
shooting rifle calibers
Yeah.
on our pistol steel.
Okay, so pistol
that's
steel and
true.
rifle steel. What's the difference?
Nick?
difference in whether it's thickness or the treatment to make the steel. There's a certain amount of pounds that it can will take to form it. So I mean, I don't know all the specifics. I'm not a freaking
Metallurgist.
yeah, but there's a difference between like AR-500 and AR-550.
Right.
And to my knowledge,
green
if I can
tip
remember
or all that
correctly,
kind
Well,
of
green
stuff.
tip I think goes through pretty much everything. But
it's basically the pressure treatment can take a higher rating.
take a rifle around.
Yeah, so all the stuff that we have out here is AR-500, but it's different thicknesses. You have like 1/4 inch, you have 3/8, you have half inch.
So rated for pistol and rated for rifle, and so the smaller
Yeah.
bays are all rated for pistol, and then you
Yeah.
have the 25-yard bays, and you have the 100-yard bays,
Yep.
which are rated for rifle and pistol.
Yeah, the 50 and the 100-yard bays. But yeah, the steel is actually rated for a specific feet per second. So
Okay.
a terminal velocity. So I think it's under 2,900 feet per second that it can take the round. Anything over that, it's going to start doing damage to the steel, or it might just blow right through it. So that's why
So don't do that.
some of those larger calibers, when you're shooting at such a close range, it's going over that 2,900 feet per second, and it's
It
damaging
happens
the
more
steel.
than we'd like. I mean, occasionally we understand it's going to happen on accident. Maybe they didn't know, they showed up, they started shooting, and then an errant round, goes through. But when you're ripping, 6, 7, 8 holes
Yeah.
from your 30 caliber rifle through $100 piece of steel or more,
Yeah.
like that pisses us off.
I may or may not have shot one once.
But one
round. I was
Yeah.
going from rifle. I was running like 2 rifles and 2 pistols and doing these drills and recording at the same time for the channel. And, and then I'm just like doing the drills, trying to be fast, look cool on film. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden I realize I'm throwing green tip. Pow, pow. Fortunately, I suck at shooting sometimes, so I missed the first couple. And then I heard one pop, and then I realized I'm like, oh.
You always look cool on your videos.
Well, yeah, I edit all the stupid shit out.
We like to see some of those bloopers, by the way.
No, it's not good for anybody.
People want to see how cool you look on video. They can go and see your cool videos on the Gun channel on YouTube. And I say it every time, like, how did you get the Gun channel? Nobody had the Gun channel. You just happened, or did you secure it back in 2008 when YouTube?
It's not who you know.
Yeah.
It's who you.
blow.
Never mind.
No, I just went on. I was like, I've ran into different businesses, right? And I've always been curious of what to name a business, right? It's always a thing, and there's some marketing value to just literally naming it what you do. So it's a lot perfect clarity. For example, like
Sleeping on duty. That would be Nick's.
That's
Yes.
.com.
like we make Band-Aids. You know what I mean? Like that's the name of your business, and you're like, what does your business do? Well,
I just told you.
Yeah. So anyway, the Gun channel was available. I'm like, this can't be real, and so I searched it, and it was available. And unfortunately, on other areas of the internet, like other social media platforms, it's not. But you can find me on like Instagram at MVP2A. But yeah, it's going good. It's the YouTube demonetizes everything with a gun in it, and it doesn't make any sense. And so,
Have you had any people who are sending us coffee money?
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you having any success with the Patreon?
$20 today.
I started I started
That's
a Patreon over the last 6 months or a year. I've made like $100 through monetization, whatever it could get monetized, which is, which basically I make negative 5 cents an hour at that rate.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, I still want to start this Patreon thing, but it seemed like the Patreon was set up to be more like, once you do the Patreon, you're going to get additional services. You know what I mean? You're going to get access to something that most people don't. I'm like, I don't need more work to try to make money. So I'm like, I think the Patreon is still set up, but I'm not using it. And then we have, since we load Evoke Studios equipment, our production company's equipment, up so much that I just put that PayPal account and the link down there, and I'm trying to remember, doing my best to remember at the end of each video, it's like, hey, if you enjoyed the content, buy us a cup of coffee, throw us a PayPal payment. And so we've had,
Let's charge our batteries.
we've had 2 people do it, $5 for the first one and 20 for the second one. And so it's just
Very
fun.
nice.
It's some sort of like a feedback. It's probably the same sort of a psychology of getting a thumbs up or a positive comment.
Yeah, but I mean, I do know that there are, because I'm in the guitar sphere, I know that a lot of guitar instructors, that's how they're trying to supplement their incomes through Patreon.
cool.
But they have some different like tiers available to their Patreon subscribers. For $5,
You guys could do that with Drill of the Week.
you get this. For $10, you get this. For $20, you get
And
all of
zombies.
these things. You think we could pull that off at Drill of the Week? I don't know, because it'd be like, for $10, we'll do it with our shirts on,
Nick, would you be willing to do Drill of the Week
and
without your
then
shirt
we'll
on?
take them off. If you want for $20,
Fans only page?
Yeah.
Is that how that's called?
Oh my God! Trade Krause range Drill of the Week.
We can auction off
only fans page.
We can auction off an autographed rose.
But like, I mean, you could like.
Do you know how fast my wife would shut that down?
You know what I mean? Like, you could sell extra
Yeah, we
drills, lessons, tips.
She's probably listening right now.
could. That is a good idea.
Just a
We
thought.
could.
Are we going to do Drill of the Week today?
I think.
I think so.
Yes.
You guys
as
wanna
long
do
as
it?
it's not raining.
Drill of the Week.
Drill of the Week. Drill of the Week. For anybody who doesn't know, Drill of the Week is on. You can find that most likely on. You got to shoot 16:9. You can't be shooting vertical
This
like
is
that.
going on a story, man.
I guess I have a little
Let
bit
it
of
go,
controller
Michael.
issues. Some people have said.
This is going to go on a story.
Oh,
so,
cool.
and
To my world,
so
y'all.
say hi,
Hi.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Well, look at the lighting. It's fantastic. I'm going to hold this right here because this is where the money is
You look
at.
delicious.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What else is going on in the world? Well, today takes
Michael's
everything you
birthday
got.
is on Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
She keeps reminding me. I'm going to be
what?
47-ish.
Ish.
47.
Mm-hmm.
You don't look at day
Over 50.
No. Man, 47 is a total different ball game in 2021 than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know
what people
more,
keep trying to tell me.
take better care of your body, put better things in, get better things out. And you especially, you set aside time to meditate. You don't drink a lot.
No, it's basically just at 47, like the stuff that it seems like is a good idea to do, like meditation, saunas, exercise every day. Now it's like a necessity for me. It's like, and especially running into any kind of medical issues. I mean, these doctors are throwing pills at me, and
Sure
I'm
they
just like having to say no.
Yeah.
You know, not to get off track, but like, yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, but so doing all these things, basically doing whatever it is that I can within my sphere of control in order to give myself the best outcome and minimize any need for kind of drugs or anything like that. So
Well, you have
intermittent
to.
fasting.
Yep, I know that you've been pretty good about that.
Elk meat.
Oh my God. So I made, what day is it? It's Wednesday. I think it was Monday night. We had steak at the house, and I did another elk sirloin or tenderloin.
Tenderloin.
I did an A/B comparison. A cut of the elk and a cut of standard beef cut, whatever it was that we bought. It's not even comparable.
Mhm.
Taste, texture, the whole nine. It's not even comparable. The elk just
Did you
kills
prepare
it.
them the same way?
Same seasoning, same grill. They went on at different times because
Yeah.
obviously the elk was a smaller
very fast.
Meat and
It didn't have any fat in it.
No fat, really lean, but gorgeous color, like beet red. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even
I do
close.
like the I've been buying whenever my pocketbook allows it. Pocketbook, what is that? Like
an old
grass-fed beef or something from the
Mhm.
store, and it's got the fat in it, and that's pretty
Yep.
delightful as well. So anyway, yeah, just eating
Yeah,
the
but
least
as-
amount of processed food as possible.
Yeah, as we age in 2021, you have to take certain steps to offset the stressors that 2021 brings. 2020
or
tw-
2020
2019 or any
did.
the stress that you as a 47-year-old are under right now, regardless of where they are from, are different than a 47-year-old stresses in 1920. Completely different. You're getting bombarded with tons of different things. So if you're not taking care of yourself, you're going to end up in a dire situation at a different rate for sure.
Take notes, Nick.
Yes.
And also, like, getting into jam, sometimes, like, sleep deprivation over time or something like that, not getting enough sleep or dehydration for long periods of time, maybe years. Or if you do get injured or something like that, or get busy at work, or life happens with kids, whatever it is, you do take time off of exercising to remind yourself, it's like, hey, or at least remind myself, I didn't get here overnight, you know? This
Yeah.
problem's been building if I really sit and think about it for years, and I understand why it happened, and it's okay to acknowledge how it got here, and then just really focus on how to get out and be like, you know what? Give myself 6 months or a year and check in and see if I'm improving, not,
Yeah, it's not an overnight fix.
yeah, it's not 6 days or something like that, so. But
Yeah, but to get there, you got to have some kind of awareness, though, and that's what people are lacking: awareness. Why is your shitty sleep? Why do you have shitty sleep? Build some awareness around it. Pay attention. Take some notes. What do you do every night at 9:30 when you're trying to fall asleep? You watch
UFC fights.
UFC, or you put on some aggravating cable-based political, head talk.
Nobody's gonna sleep
That's
well.
not going to let you sleep. Look at your food. What was your last meal? Was it heavy on carbs? Was it heavy on alcohol? Was it low on anything else? Look at your day in general. Look at how you start it. That awareness can go a long way. And so you start to eliminate some of those offending or confounding factors to sleep, but then have the awareness in the morning when you wake up. I slept like awesome last night. Wonder what that was. I didn't watch the UFC, or I did this, or not that.
I meditate every morning, and,
doesn't have
and
to be
sitting
difficult.
there for 15 minutes, just breathing, just sitting with your thoughts and my thoughts, and there's no really opportunity to escape, So yeah, meditating every morning really gives me an opportunity to.
Well, what does that look like for you? Are you trained in transcendental meditation? Does it have to be a complex thing? What does meditation look like for you?
It's changed for me over the years. Like I think I've been doing it 4 or 5 years now. 4 years committed. You know, I've always dabbled with it. But I'm a lifelong martial artist and did get into some yoga, things like that. But for me, it's been I would just listen to music and just put some sort of kind of meditation music and just lay like in a pose or something like that, and just let thoughts come up. And so a bunch of different ways. Sometimes no music, sometimes with music, sometimes I'll listen to some positive thinking or somebody talking about issues. And sometimes I'll do affirmations and I'll just repeat things to myself. Sometimes I'll ask for clarity from my higher self or my higher being or my inner being, whatever your flavor is.
So it doesn't have to be too ritualistic. You're not like laying out a mat. You're not lighting incense or getting into some flowy robe or anything, are you?
No, I'm shooting upside down.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It can be very simple, and it can be pretty individualized, I'm sure.
Work.
Yep. Can you go closer on that? Thank you so much.
Use the Jedi robe.
The Jedi robe, yeah, I do. That's probably scratchy. So, but no, I keep it as legit. I mean, I'm usually sitting cross-legged in my computer chair in my room and just having a cup of coffee. Actually, I just bought some. Speaking of formalities, some Tibetan beads or whatever. I was like, it would be cool to use that for meditation. And so sometimes I would get. When I would start meditating, I would be like, oh, I need to do it for 15 minutes. And my brain would go, how long has it been? How long has it been? And it would keep checking in. And that's not helpful to like unplug. And so I got these beads, which has like 108 beads. It's like a necklace. You've seen them on TV movies, or maybe you have them.
Yeah.
And then, so every time I take a breath, I'll just pull through one of those beads. And if I do the whole necklace, it's it's probably about 20 minutes.
How many
minutes.
beads?
I think it's 108. I could be wrong on that for the necklace.
You know, there's 108 stitches in a baseball.
So
Why do you know that?
Bull Durham.
Oh, okay.
That's a fantastic movie.
Duh. Bull Durham, if anybody hasn't watched Bull Durham.
Sorry.
I believe that's right. I think there's 108 beads. How many beads are in a Catholic rosary?
How many anal beads are in a...
I'm not Catholic.
How many? You only need one.
I had a feeling that was going to come up in this conversation.
Very interesting. You know, the only thing I think about when you said about those beads and you just pull one through is the Lethal Weapon movie where they had the Chinese...
Jet Li?
Jet Li, when the Chinese immigrants, and Jet Li had that little set of... You don't know the movie I'm talking about?
I know.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3 or 4.
Yeah, he had it, and every time he'd have that out, somebody was
just
going to
been
die.
Oh, yeah, that's basically what I do. So like,
Yeah.
if I'm going to kill somebody, then I get my meditation beads out. Joking,
59
everybody.
in a
59
Catholic
beads
rosary.
in a rosary. Since you're Googling, how many
That's-
stitches in a baseball? I think it's 108.
That's half of 118, which is the first one he said. So
Oh, yeah.
it'd be 118.
And it is divided, but my beads are divided up in like 4 sections. So there's a unique looking bead and smaller beads. So, so if you want to do a shorter meditation, you can. So I can let go of counting or time or stopwatches and get rid of all digital if I want.
108.
And just breathe, count it out.
There is 108 stitches in a baseball.
Am I Jamie?
You're the Jamie of our
There's something to
Joe
this.
Rogan-ish.
There's something to this. That's awesome.
108. So anyway, it would be like a really long conversation. You'd have to ask me specific questions because my meditation has changed so much through the years, and it's never ending, and it moves around, and it reminds me of like if you have there's no way to have a word to describe the truth or the journey of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
You can only like have words and descriptions and relate things that sort of point towards the truth.
Do you do anything like that in the morning? What's your morning ritual? I mean, do you have one?
No.
Yeah.
I get up, brush my teeth, go downstairs,
Eat a crayon and
pack my stuff up,
get going.
get
Just
a couple
move.
crayons on the go, and then I'm out the door.
There's something to that.
I don't eat breakfast when I wake up in the morning.
I know. I don't
my
know how
stomach
you
is
don't
not-
do that.
My stomach's not prepped for food. It's
There's
just
something wrong with
doesn't
it.
want it.
That's not normal.
There's something to that, just getting up
I'm
and
not
going.
normal.
Sometimes I'll get in my own head too much when I sit meditate, and I'll be checking it. So there's something to do, like having a clear plan, packing the Jeep up, and just getting up and going.
Well,
and not
like speaking like primal man, primal man didn't necessarily wake up and start a meditation routine. They also didn't walk to a refrigerator and open the door. They got up, usually probably fearful. The sun was up. They made it through a night with predators or wherever they happened to lay their head, and then they started the day looking for food. So maybe Nick is onto a primal patterning where he just gets out of his cave, so to speak, and heads out to work. I mean, I do have a morning pattern, or it's not necessarily a ritual, but it's a pattern. I mean, the first thing I do is get out of bed, of course, and once I hit the kitchen, there's a cat that's usually talking to me loudly because she wants treats or food. And then I enjoy coffee. I enjoy the ritual of making coffee. I like going to the coffee maker. I like opening the airtight containers and smelling coffee, and so I like that process. But yeah, it usually revolves around coffee. But I don't have like a formalized pattern or path where I sit and get my thoughts organized for the day. But as the coffee starts to do its job, I do start thinking, how my day is going to lay out.
I think for me, sometimes when I'm driving to work, I don't put a podcast or music or anything on the radio, and I just drive in silence, and I think that's kind of a meditation in itself for me.
100%. People say, oh, I can't meditate, it's not for me, I can't do it. I'm like, well, do you mow the lawn? What do you think about? When you drive, what are you up to? And it's really about just clearing all the clutter out of your thought and be more of a receiver instead of a broadcaster.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just how many people do drive with nothing on in the car?
I like to drive with no music on a lot, actually. Like my radio's not on 24/7 when I'm in the truck. It's most of the time it's off.
That's pretty cool.
So what do you think about just let thoughts come and just let
anything?
Tactical bachelor.
Like I'll think about what I'm going to do when I get to work, and then once I'm through with that, then it's just basically whatever comes up.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's thousands of techniques, and sometimes that's what I'll do. I was like, you know what, tomorrow morning I'm not going to meditate. I'm going to get up and go because I've been too in my own head lately. I need to just get out and be in action because thinking about it more is not going to support me in breaking through what I need to break through. Sometimes action's needed, and then segment intending is like thinking forward to what I have coming up next. What do I want to create? What do I want to experience? What I want to, want to be a good listener. Whatever it is, each segment, like how do I want to be at work today? Like you said, like what do I want to accomplish? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that's what you're into or not, but it's not about right.
Jess, you seem pretty organized and squared away. What do you got going on in the mornings?
Super squared away.
Well, Rocky wakes me up.
Yeah.
Rocky's her little doggy.
Yeah.
You seem to me like you'd have a very detailed and neatly written series of checklists.
It's not a checklist per se, but it is. I do have I have similar readings that I do every day. I've been reading from this one. I don't know. There's different people that contribute to this one. I don't want to call it a devotional because it's really not. But this email list that I belong to, and so like I read that every day, and then I have a list in my phone that I go through of things that I've kind of accumulated that I know I want to think about, or people I know that are struggling that could use positive energy and prayers or vibes, whatever they want. And so that's my
cool.
ritual every morning as I'm guzzling coffee.
Yeah, I definitely know about the coffee. It's like the first thing that and food. I wake up ravenous.
Me too. Intensely hungry.
Yeah, that's usually what wakes me up.
Especially because we do the intermittent fasting now, and so like I don't eat after 5 o'clock, and I'm like.
Yeah, what's your eating window?
9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5.
We're eating 9 to 5.
So 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And
I just don't eat after 5, and then I eat when I get hungry the next day.
Do you are you holding that all week, or are you having like a day in the week where you don't do it?
Well, like last night, we met some friends for a trivia night at a local brewery, and I had a little bit of food, but it's not like I'm not. I think the best thing for me is not like that it's a certain amount of time, but just that in general I don't eat really late at night. Helps me with my whole system.
Digestive, sleeping.
What have you become aware of since you started intermittent fasting? What noticings have you had?
I sleep better. I don't have as many, I don't know, I don't wake up as much.
Yeah, because your stomach is not actively digesting food, and there's a whole cascading process that's going on during that.
And I actually find myself to be less hungry in general. So
Yeah, I would say I care about what I eat more. I have a lot more proteins and a lot more fats in what I eat. I care about what I eat. I'm more thoughtful about it.
That's an interesting noticing there.
And then
Yeah, because you like need some.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
substantial what
Yeah.
you get in. It needs to be calorically sufficient, protein sufficient.
And crap isn't going to do it.
No, not at all.
And I've
It does.
noticed I don't have any like stomach acids coming up, gut acid reflux, I guess what we
Yeah.
call it. I don't have that when going to bed and stuff like that. So my digestive system is
Yeah, so
doing
that's
much better.
That's an
That's-
interesting thing to note. And there's a whole industry built around suppressing stomach acids, acid reducers, and but if you get down to the science of what causes GERD,
It's low acid, isn't
it's
it?
low.
You need
So-
to add acid.
Yeah, gastroesophageal reflux disease is caused by low stomach acid content. So people typically will get heartburn. They go, "Oh, I got heartburn. I need an antacid." And they take an antacid, and
And
they're
then they
just
make it worse.
constantly in this
Yeah.
loop. But the problem, what causes it? You're getting a little insight into my old career. Stomach acid content is reduced, or in some cases stopped, in the presence of sugars. And the Western diet is full of sugars. And when I say sugars, I just mean like carbohydrate, essentially overindulgence in carbohydrate. It's produced and propped up by animal proteins. So you have animal proteins get into the gut, and that forces stomach acid production. So you end up with undigested carbohydrates in your gut that create a gassy sort of scenario, which forces digestive enzymes up
Out of the small intestine
out of the
into the
small
stomach.
intestine into the delicate structures of the esophagus, and that is heartburn. But it's not caused by you having
I actually have HLC or something like that. It's like a vitamin.
Yep,
like
in
a
your
vitamin
product.
pill.
Yeah, HCl.
HCl,
It's
thank you.
hydrochloric acid.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I'll pop those sometimes.
Absolutely.
If I get into a jam or something, I'll take Gas X or some sort of thing just to solve it for the short term.
Right.
But like to correct it, I take add acid.
Yeah, and so
add acid.
I used to, when I did more nutritional consulting, and we'd have people with pretty bad cases of GERD, or they wanted to know like where their stomach acid content was in terms of poor, average, or good. There was something called a HCl challenge test, and it would involve an enzyme tablet that had HCl in it, and you would take them with a protein-containing meal, and they're paying attention for a warming sensation in their gut. And so through processes, you could find out how strong their stomach acid content was, prop it up and get it up to good, and then titrate them down off of the HCl. But that's great that you notice that.
The third thing that I wanted to bring up was because I was struggling with some blood sugar levels, and I never had this problem. It was just bizarre. And basically when I went to a protein fat diet, that my body manages my blood sugar level for me. I can't remember what it's called. Like I'm metabolically flexible now. But it's definitely something to do where anyway your body can, obviously you can add to this, but your body can take protein and or fat and convert it into glucose.
Gluconeogenesis.
Thank you. And so by letting my body do that, I can go to Jessica's point. I stopped eating at 5, and today I've had like a boiled egg and a couple of nuts, and it's what time? 3 o'clock almost. That's all I've had. So I need to make sure and hit some pretty heavy food before 5 o'clock today, or
absolutely.
for our next podcast, and get some fats and proteins and
Very
stuff. in
cool.
me.
Has
The
your
other-
body? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The other thing that I've noticed is like I'm like a sweet person, but my sweet cravings have like gone completely away.
Yeah, that's another neat one.
Yeah, the cravings, and also, I think there's a craving thing, but also it's like knowing how I feel on eating healthy versus like I could eat that thing that's got a ton of sugar in it, but I know what I'm going to feel like on the other side of it. So the value drops, even just the logic value drops, not even just the cravings.
Yeah. Body compositions. Have you noticed body composition changes?
My dick is huge now.
Woohoo! What? That was the same way before. So screw this intermittent
forget
fasting.
I said that. Yeah. Am I right, Jess?
Yes, honey.
Thanks, dear.
Drill of the week. Drill of the week.
Drill of the
My body fat percentages went down.
Yeah. All over, or just in certain spots?
I mean, I only carry in one place.
In your hips.
So yeah.
your attitude, you feel better too, and you know what I mean. Like
More importantly, your attitude's better.
like your attitude and how you feel about yourself.
But do the
increases,
ladies in
too.
your family carry their weight in their hips?
We call it the Hebner curse. Yes.
Yeah, so
we
it's-
all do.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, that's genetics for your family. Mike,
Yep,
what
so
about
there's
your?
no fighting that.
Other than your schlong getting bigger, what else has happened?
As far as my body composition stuff,
A couple hundred guys just started intermittent fasting today.
Is that the secret?
that's not why I started though.
How about
But my body composition is pretty good. I have a pretty high metabolism. Even it dropped at 40, but it's still pretty high for 46,
very high.
47.
most people that get their blood sugar managed almost immediately get their love handles under control, because that's typically where insulin kind of rears its head, is in love handles. So that's a thing to know. How about, and this was when I did some intermittent fasting when I was recovering from shoulder surgery, because I found some research that suggested it was good for wound healing. So I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. And I'm going to be kind of inactive for a little while, so I've got some time to try some things out. Mental acuity. Have you experienced any increased mental acuity? Because I know I did.
Yeah, I would say it was subtle,
I'm
but
pretty fucking smart all the time.
Yeah.
she's modest too.
Yep. Yep.
I've been hanging out with Mike a lot. Can you tell?
She's smart. He's got a big dong.
Power couple.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Mom.
What was the what was the question again?
Mental acuity.
I would
Apparently
say that,
not.
I would say that it would be like I'm not thinking about eating all the time, because it's just like I'm not hungry. I'm like, oh shit, I need to eat something where I'm gonna get. It's like almost like if you're addicted to drugs or alcohol,
yeah.
you're spending so much time spinning your
Because
wheels.
you were like on a roller coaster
Yeah.
of just not feeling
and
good.
just carrying food around with me, and I
Sure.
carry food around with me now in the Jeep. I've got a little refrigerator and a little stove set up, kind of
He's
like
got
that.
a stove in the Jeep.
Yep.
Universally, though, people do report with intermittent fasting, like I have all this extra time on my hands. I don't have to eat here and here, and I don't have to cook so often. So having the extra time on your hands allows you to
and extra money.
and extra money.
I'm like,
oh yeah.
I don't have to buy as much food.
It is
Yeah.
awkward eating out with friends. Though, like we went out to dinner with you the other night, and,
Yeah.
and I was like, I chose not to eat, and it is a little bit.
Yeah, we thought you were weird. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't think you were weird at all. I knew, I understood. And you stuck to your guns.
And I do.
I make more exceptions than he does.
Yeah, and I think you have the luxury too, because I'm like, for whatever I'm going through, and this could change. Like I'm doing it, and if I do eat after 5, it's a pretty negative consequences as far as how I feel, and so it's like it's just not worth it. If it was just cheating and I felt bad and I was breaking the rules, I would just. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist about it. I
Yeah.
would just eat, but to me, it's just like it's not a big deal. I ate at 5, and I'll be good to go.
that's cool.
And I'll just hang out and have a drink with you guys and make you guys all feel weird. I'll just stare at you really closely while you're eating.
While I'm chewing.
How's that taste?
No, that's cool.
Like,
You've built some awareness around it. You definitely have some consistency with it. It's not for everyone. There are people out there, I'm sure, that should not be doing intermittent fasting for mental health reasons, and there are just people. We could probably get into a long discussion on that, but I'm glad that you guys are experiencing some benefits from it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, experimenting on yourself is cool, and
Yeah,
for anybody
yeah.
who's interested in it, that obviously check with your doctor and stuff. But I don't know how much your doctor knows about nutrition, but check with a proper and a current nutritionist, and then and then it's not something you have to start like cold turkey and just go right. There's 16 hours off, 8 hours on, or you could just start. I'm just going to not eat after 5, or I'm not going to eat after 6, and then if you see how you feel on that, and if you feel good, say I'm not going to eat after 5:30 or whatever. But to get into it, but
Yeah.
a lot of cool stuff for
And there's a
autoimmune.
lot of resources out there that
Yeah.
people are interested
Books
in
and-
learning more. There's some great minds in the intermittent fasting realm, and of course in the nutrition realm as well, that are trustworthy.
Who do you have coming on the next podcast today? Did you already talk about that when we opened?
Yeah, I met this guy named Matt at the Tactical Games when we were in Utah, and
He's a competitor?
he's a competitor, double amputee, and
Below the knee?
Below the knee, I believe so. Yes. And he was coming through my battle. I was running a battle up on this ridge, and he had a huge smile on his face. He's a big dude. He's a big man. But then you talk to him, and he's just this teddy bear of a guy, friendly as one of the friendliest people I think I've ever met. And you could see that there was this cool spark in him. And while he was competing, I took a couple pictures of him and watched him run his battle. He did really well. And then I found, while he was out, he had to go do a long run down in this canyon, quite a long run in a canyon. So I found his wife, Alexa, and I just pulled her aside and introduced myself, and she was every bit as friendly. I think they it's just who they are. And I asked for his contact information, and we've been chatting ever since. And super friendly dude. And so we had a real brief FaceTime this morning, just to make sure we had a good connection. And he was all excited. He was like shot out of a cannon this morning. So
where does he live?
They are in Utah.
Oh, okay.
And I just want to know more about his story. I want to talk to him, see what he's got going on, if there's anything that he's involved with that we can shine a light on. I'm sure he's already doing a better job than we ever could, because this guy is like radiant, big time. You'll see. You're gonna love him once the show kicks off. So I just, I love talking to people, and I love talking to people with a story, and so we hooked up, and so we're going to do something.
That'll be sweet. And you're going to do that via like a video chat.
Yeah,
we'll try to record it.
Yeah, we'll do a FaceTime. Maybe we can get an over-the-shoulder shot of Matt, so that people can get a feel for his energy, because that was what attracted me to him. His energy is just off the charts.
It's infectious, right? I love that.
Yeah, and I just want to know more. People that have had these kind of these intense and incredible hardships in their life, that come out the other side glowing, like this guy. I want to know more. Like, what happens? How does that happen? Where do you find it? How do you dig down? And I don't want to postulate on it. I want to hear it right from him. So that's what we're going to do.
Nice.
I can't wait to get him on the phone. This morning I only talked to him for like 3 minutes, and it improved the next hour of my day, I swear to God. So this dude is something else, man.
What's going on in Nick's world?
Nothing much. School's starting back up.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah,
what's that look like?
I mean, it's the summer, so it's like 2 classes for the first couple months, and then another 2 classes the last few months of summer.
You told me what your long-term vision was. Tell me again.
So I'm getting a degree in business management, but I'm not using it for business anything. I'm going to join the FBI.
That's right.
And then after I spent a couple of years in the FBI, I want to be on the hostage rescue team, HRT. So that's the ultimate goal. You have to be a special agent for at least 2 years if you're in the tactical readiness program. That's like a fast track for HRT. Mm-hmm. But if you're not in that program, then it's 3 years until you can rate a spot or a chance to try out for the HRT.
That's sweet. I would, if I needed rescuing, Jess, if you needed rescuing and Nick showed up, would you be happy with that?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Guess so. Okay. I guess I'm not saving you.
I'm hoping I'm never in a situation that needs to be rescued.
A little domestic dispute.
Hostage taking.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Maybe she and I get into a little argument.
Oh, good Lord.
Get an argument about the settings on our cameras or something.
That mental acuity, right?
Mental acuity. That's cool. So how long? So what's the next steps? You got classes starting back up. So that means you've already been doing it obviously for some time. Mm-hmm. How much longer of this portion of it? I would call it like what?
A couple of semesters
stuff before you actually get interviewed for FBI.
So I have around a year left. Around. It could be less.
College stuff?
Yeah, I have to speak with the advisor to see what exactly I need to finish. But it should take around a year. Mm-hmm. I cannot start my application until I have my degree in hand. I've already spoken to one of the agents, I think in the Tampa field office.
Okay.
And she gave me a bunch of information. She was super helpful, but she's like, we can't move forward at all until you have the degree in hand. So I have to wait for that to finish before I can start anything. But another cool thing that happened was one of my friends that I met out at the Tactical Games National Championships. She was a judge in my group. She has a friend who's on HRT right now, and she put me in contact with him. So
nice.
So I got a little foot in the door.
Connection.
Yeah, it all helps. That's cool. And so after you graduate, you have a degree, and what does the application process look like? Do you know?
I have it all written down. I don't know if I could say it like off the top of my head because it's so lengthy. There's like,
really?
Yeah, there's different interviews and
Not be
like,
a terrorist.
Yeah. I'm almost positive you got to do a polygraph test and stuff like that. So
I have to background check your family members.
Yeah, and my ancestors.
And probably us too, right? They might have to.
Yeah.
Oh, you're screwed.
Yeah. I'll be on my best.
They're going to listen to this podcast, hear about that hostage thing. They're going to be like, nope, we don't want them.
Oh my gosh.
You just ruined my career, Jessica.
It's all good. Everything looks good here, Nick. It all looks in order.
But because Jessica wasn't comfortable.
There's a gentleman you sat next to that claimed to have a huge hog. We did a little background checking into him, and he's got a gun channel, and not ideal. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for trying.
Yeah, the world needs ditch diggers too. You know.
Do you know that movie?
Could always be an undertaker.
Another great movie reference.
The world needs ditch digger.
Caddyshack.
Oh, that's probably been a lot. Hey, you
That's
scratched
crazy.
my Inca.
I just know a lot of old people that say that.
That's a Caddyshack
Whoa,
reference.
hey, whoa.
What?
Old
Not
people?
just you.
Mm-hmm.
Just me? Hey, he said I didn't look a day over 50.
It's true. And the world does need ditch diggers too, Danny.
Oh, that's right. You're the caddy.
Yep.
I need to rewatch that. That's so good.
It's been like
That holds up.
forever.
Just got to
It's
go
one
to
of those
college,
movies
Mr.
that my
Webb.
dad shows when I'm young, and I don't remember.
My kids and my wife they have no clue why I think that movie is so funny.
Really? It's
Well,
hilarious.
yeah, because they're communists. That's why.
We'll leave it at that. I mean, that's
just
pretty
leave it
much.
at that.
So when Ellie and I do our podcast,
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to bring that up.
I was
I hear
told
you're a communist.
Sitting on the couch.
Friday night before skirmish, so the
Oh, yeah.
28th.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Hurricane Ashley, Allie, and you.
Oh man, is Ashley going to compete the next day?
Yeah.
That's no big deal. It's just talking.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing. It's not working out.
You're not
just
getting
talking.
shit faced.
Or are you?
That's-
Or are you? Oh, she's
I mean-
not. Probably.
So that night will be a ladies only show.
Nice.
So be ready.
Be ready.
I mean,
I'll-
you're going to set up all the cameras and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not. You're competing. I'm not. I'm just running the deal.
I can drink
Just
water.
running it.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
have water.
you'll be looking at this.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah, it looks fun. I don't
Excellent. It looks awesome.
know. Amateurs.
Kidding me.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys,
I think probably people probably have to go be better persons, move on with their lives.
And
Yeah.
we got to go do the drill of the week.
Drill of the week.
We're gonna try to do that. So we got a pod at
can
4.
we squeeze it in?
One
Yeah, do we
hour.
have to? Got to do it fast.
I have my Birkenstocks on. I know I have shoes I
Oh
can
my
put.
God.
Your Air
Okay.
Biffle Hem 7s.
Let's go do it.
All right, drill of the week, and then all right, let's get out of here. Take it away.